Pack. What's good? Where my dogs at?
Yo,
What's
what's
good,
good?
Frank?
What's
What's
good, Pat?
happening?
What's good, bro?
What's good, man?
What's
How
up,
y'all
Pac
doing?
Family?
Yeah,
Real
Doing great,
good.
doing great. Can't complain.
it's a
Working hard
beautiful
how
day.
we
It's a
normally
beautiful
do.
day.
You
Y'all
know.
know what time it is.
Uh,
What's going on, ladies and
Man.
gentlemen? I'm your boy FICO Jordan, 1/6 of the leadership of the Alpha Pack Trading Group. We are here live once again for our weekly watch list call. We like to go over a little bit of information regarding the market, kind of how things went the past week for our team. We're going to show you where the money resides, and we're going to talk about a very important topic that is going to affect the market in a major way. We've been pointing you to where the money resides for multitude of weeks now. We don't miss.
no
We
count.
rarely miss. And so, just to kind of get to the nitty gritty of that before we jump into the watch list, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. That is the infrastructure bill. Last night, the House passed the
Let's
$1
get on
trillion
in.
bipartisan infrastructure bill that includes transport, broadband, and utility funding sent over to President Biden. They tried to sneak this in the midnight hour. And so,
You know how
early on we knew this is
politicians
kind
do.
of, you already know. And we knew
Yeah.
they try to slip things in, just no different than
Mm-hmm.
the way that they do things were when it comes to market structure, slipping in orders before the close, things like that. We know the market was going to go rippy. Well, there's a reason that price precedes volume, volume precedes the news, and news precedes retail. So, with this being put before us, how do you gentlemen feel like this is going to affect things moving forward? I mean, we've known this was coming for quite some time, but Mr. Check My Resume, I'm sure you can give some information regarding, the details in the build. It's, kind of got some
Yeah,
things in there, some what they call the pork.
And sneaking me
That's
in there.
this
yeah,
that this
yeah.
just
What a
wasteful.
where the sausage is made.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, the bulk of that funding is going to go into the transportation. So, and when you talk about transportation, you're talking about building and construction with the infrastructure development. So you're going to get a lot of material stocks like your X's, your CLFs of the world. So you're going to have a lot of those companies that are in those sectors, those industries that are going to take off. But then also you got to look at companies like Cat as well, because those companies they got to buy equipment. They got to rent equipment. You know what I mean? So you got to think about those ancillary companies as well. And then you bring that over to Broadcom. We talk about, the underserved communities that have lack of internet access and all things of that nature. So that's what this also has in there, where those rural communities, those communities that are inner cities as well, they'll have an opportunity to have high speed internet. So what does that mean for us? That means companies like Verizon, AT&T, they're going to have opportunities to get contracts to develop that fiber optics to enable people to have access across the country. So we're talking like 800 billion in that. Then you got semiconductors. They are already started to move, so they've already given an indication of where they're going. So, if you're not already in semiconductors, the team's been telling you we've been playing it, and we can go down the line, but I don't want to get too heavy into it. But those are the big chunks of it. And then you got on top of that, you got just the general stuff like defense that are going to get funds and things of that nature. So, those are the main key areas that I see are going to just go take off. They're going to go ripping.
That's what's up. Boss gang. What
Yeah. So we've been expecting the infrastructure for a really long time. Institutions don't wait for things to happen; they do things in preparation. So
Hmm.
we can
Hmm.
already see. We've called out a lot of these infrastructure plays at the very bottoms before any reversals have taken place. We're looking for the next legs up. The infrastructure is cool because it's really a changing of everything and it pretty much affects everything. So we talk about clean energies. We're going to start at the source, right from before from the places where we're laying the electrical lines. We replace every electric pole in Los Angeles County It's infrastructure and it's changing, and the guard has changed. We're behind in communications behind the world. We're last. Our internets are clearly slow. We have the biggest companies, yet our internets have the most interruptions and the slowest speed in the world for the most part, behind all the developed nations. So I'm looking forward to the money getting spent on things like making sure we don't have power outages, make sure all of our infrastructure is flowing, make sure our internet, above all, works well, because without this internet. So I'm big on that, like you mentioned, that Broadcom and this internet. That's probably one of our biggest lacking factors in our advancement right now. Is our broadband is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I'm sure we can all pretty much agree to that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're gonna go rip in the market for sure.
Cool. Well,
Hey,
no,
can't we get EVs?
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, so we're going to go ahead and move into showing you specifically where things kind of moved throughout the week, showing you the setups. You know how we do in this group, particularly. We got to look and see how things are moving as far as sectors are concerned. So let's go ahead and jump straight into that. Bam. So looking at materials, right now, things kind of finished very green. Friday was crazy. Not a gap and go. Absolutely took out that 2 up on the day. After that pullback, having an inside day, so that 2-1-2 continuation. Right now, let's pull up our day. My bad. We had a double inside 60. I don't know why that's going on right now. But we green on the quarter. The month, the week, and the day got full time frame continuity on XLB on materials. Right now, XLC felt like it had a bit of a comeback. We did have a gap, but it's a shooter on the day. We have time frame continuity somewhat. If we can go green on the day, starting the week off, but we do have a green quarter and a green month. It's set up a 3-2-2 month, and that magnitude, looking at that high, is going to be 86.36. XLE, we've hit the top of a broadening formation, so right now we got a little accumulation happening right now on the day, but we do have time frame continuity to the upside if we go green on the day and week. Right now we have an inside month, but it is green. On XLF, got a little bit of conflict, green quarter, but we have a red month. It did hit the top of a broadening formation. We got a 2-2 week to the downside, and it's also red on the day. Accumulation occurring there at the top. XLI has some big moves coming up. Rightfully so. You heard Mr. Check My Resume talk about companies like Caterpillar, John Deere. We have a very aggressive quarter, green on the quarter, green on the month, big green week after that push up off of that volume shelf, and we have a red day. So we had a gap, looked like it wanted to fill, price got held up, so it looks like they're going to try to move that higher. We had an aggressive quarter on XLK. You knew 100% that's where the money was going to reside. There we have a green quarter, green month, green week. You see how bullish that candle is in the week in the bottom right, and we have gap fill up. Things are kind of flat, just like you see in a lot of other sectors on the day. Green quarter on XLP, on staples. You know, the Coke boys are in the building. We've been playing Coke faithfully. A lot of other companies out of there, Walmart, Costco, I believe Staples, if I'm not wrong, Kimberly Clark as well. So we have a green quarter looking to go outside, very aggressive over 73.25. We have a 2-2 reversal in the month, getting ready to take out 73.25 on the magnitude. The week is big green, and so is the day. Full time frame continuity there. Real estate, we have the same setup, similar going. Looks like it did go outside. Oh, no. Sorry, my apologies. Just 2 up. Green quarter, green month, green week, aggressive comeback, and we have a red day sitting on the bottom of the or top of the volume shelf. Inside quarter to the upside, so we are setting up a 3-1-2 shy on the month to the upside on utilities. Utilities, you know, we've been playing that heavy. We got some leaps over there. Right now, you're setting up a hammer week 2-2 reversal going to take us potentially back up to 70.07. We have full time frame continuity right now in utilities. Healthcare, we are green on a quarter, red month, looking like corrective activity, red week, and a red day. Things still just look pretty flat right there, so no selling off per se. And discretionary, we have a green, big green quarter, green month. You see the past 4 weeks in discretionary have been absolutely nuts, and a flat day, but it's green nonetheless. Full time frame continuity right there. Mr. Boss Gang VIP, can you go ahead and bring us some information regarding the way things are going to move for the almanac this week, second week of November, historically in the market?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've been nailing it. We've been nailing it. We've been able to find the money. We've been able to figure out what kind of sentiment the market has been having. Last week, I mentioned that we expected this week, starting November 1st, to be one of the most bullish weeks of the entire year. That absolutely turned out to be true. With the infrastructure passing, I expect this week to be no different. Getting to the almanac, I mentioned last Monday that November, the Dow and S&P begins their best 6-month periods, and NASDAQ begins its best 8 months. So that's definitely bullish. I literally expect the week to be just like last week. We had some choppy activity on Monday, which is normal, a lot of profit taking, repositioning. We went crazy throughout the week. We had a lot of bullish activity, gap ups on Friday. We had pullbacks, repositioning as well on that. Thursday, the 11th, we have Veterans Day. And going beyond this week, the Monday before November expiration, the Dow has been up 11 of the last 16 sessions. That's going into November the 15th. I expect the market to be very, very bullish. These setups are going to be very, very bullish. When we look left to right on the chart, as I always say, I expect SPY and the stock market to be up at the end of the week. So we're definitely bullish. We're going to go ahead and find where the money resides.
Thank you. So you all know how things are going to be moving here. Been pretty accurate whenever it comes to the almanac. This is the reason why we give you this information, so you know the most important thing, where the money resides. So appreciate that from you, Boss Gang VIP. Investing for legacy, my guy. You are up next. What's your watch list looking like this week?
Sir, yes, sir. Good evening. Good morning, Pac Family. Um, I am happy that my brother, Boss Gang, confirmed that the broadband, I did not know that was an aspect of the bill, but I am liking Palantir and Snow going into next week. We can start with either that you pull up Snow, Palantir. I will be looking for the break of that inside week. I'm looking forward to make it above the previous quarter levels, right under $30. I can see that happening, especially if they, I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on this quite yet, but I will be double checking. But being that the infrastructure bill has a bunch of broadband plays into it, I think this being one of the biggest tech companies out there, software companies out there, and Snow as well, I can see them possibly getting a piece of that money. I know Palantir has a lot of government contracts, so you can pull up Snow for me as well, FICO. I am loving the hammer on the week that I'm seeing on that. Is closed above a weekly broadening formation that I have. It's been running strong for a while now. So I'm liking this current strong trend that it's in for some continuation to the upside for some day trades and some scalps just to be safe. But it looks like it's a safe place to be in and out for sure. It's not on we're not catching it early on a reversal, so I'm not as confident on the swings, but definitely know the money resides there. So we'll be looking for some nice scalps and some nice day trades for the pack in there. Disney's next. It's the company that I would like to bring up next. We'll be watching next week. I know the earnings is coming up this week. I can see it making it to a 2 up on the it's an inside month currently. Like right now, I can see it making a 2 up, mainly off of the Marvel movies that it's been killing the box office for it. Big revenue has been coming in for it in that lane. Very confident that it's been getting beat up for a while now, and I that's the honestly in the pack, that's when we're most confident in trading around earnings, when projects have been getting beat up for when certain companies have been getting beat up for a while now. We know that how cheap they are in Wall Street, and they like discounts on good companies. So the fact that Disney has not been doing much lately, earnings next week, and I again do have faith in and with the money that has been still producing in this last quarter or so, especially with these big Marvel movies dropping. Can see Disney going up. Like I said, I'm looking forward to go 2 up on the month, crossing that 179.63. Visa is possibly the play that I'm watching the most and the most excited about. I like that gap fill play up that you can see in the upper right FICO screen, the upper right. I like that gap fill up to the 230 mark. I can see that happening. Nice started a nice. It has a nice hammer on the week that I'm watching. I'm noticing for sure. I like the gap fill play is up to 231. It dropped after it beat earnings last week, so you know we know good companies if it's they can drop even though after beating earnings. So I'm knowing that this is only a matter of time for Visa to close that gap, get back up there. Also, it has dividends next week, so I know that can be a catalyst for it as well to do some nice running leading up to dividends. So I'll be watching them. Besides that, I'm wrapping up my list here. I like airlines. You could just pull up jets for them, but Dallas, Delta. Is definitely more so specifically the company that I'm liking. Love the premiums on that, but airlines is looking strong. I imagine that they might be a benefactor of the infrastructure bill as well, somewhere in there. I called a super fire play on Delta. Man, those premiums moving from 8 cents to $2.40 from midweek, from Wednesday to Friday. So yeah, airlines, they're waking up. I can see us paying. These will be paying the pack for sure. They continue to move in the direction that I see. Last but not least, I also last thing I want to subsector that I want to mention. Actually, two subsectors that I want to mention is the semis. We mentioned that already, being a big. I see them. They already started to run, but I can see them continuing to run. I love Boss Games play. MU. He called out MU. A bunch of you can pull them up. A bunch of these semis, Nvidia, AMD have already been running, but MU looks like it has some plenty of room to do some. It would look like the lagger in this situation. Look like it has plenty of room to run up behind them. So MU is the one I am kind of the most excited about for sure when it comes to semis. And the last small subsector that I would like to mention is small caps. You could just, I know we have a lot of plays that we're in. You could pull up Laser, for example, as one of the small caps, but they all have similar charts. They look like they're just dropping the kids off right now, dropping off the weekends, how we put it inside the pack. A little small corrective activity, but I do see plenty of magnitude to the upside for for small caps still, and we'll be looking for some money to be thrown there next week as well. So we are not done with the small caps. They paid us well in the beginning of this week in the pack, but they did not drop off. We know better. We did not run away when a little corrective activity. We see the bigger picture for sure with these small caps. I know with Laser in particular, I caught that 122 rev on the month. So I expected some corrective activity after that, and we'll just be waiting for it to pop again to the upside. Yeah, as soon as you can see at the bottom right screen of FICO, right whenever we know in the pack, whenever a stock breaks a big monthly level like that, it can have a little corrective activity. So it didn't scare us away. We expect to see this thing pay us some more. So I noticed a bunch of small caps with that same small corrective activity, but so just wanted to highlight that. But on to Boss Gang, I believe it is next. Or no, actually, I think Mr. Check My Resume is next. Or I'll let you
Yeah.
do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Investing for legacy. Mr. Check My Resume. Mr. Friday. Mr. Give you the day off early, as it seems. Yo, what you got on the watch list for us this week?
All right, man. What's going on? First on my list, just to continue the theme, I'm gonna be real quick with it because it's very black and white what we need to look at. First thing, I'm gonna just get into the call out that I made Friday right before it closed, and that's Lockheed Martin LMT. And so with this one, we're looking at a 2-2 rev potentially on the week, and we have essentially magnitude back to the 380 level. So I'm looking at a nice move there. So I got both November and December expiration on those 360s and 380s. So I'm looking to take this one back to the top of that broadening formation, right around 380, 70. And then also we did a failed 2 down on the month, hit that broadening formation. So I expect this one to rev going through the end of November. So I plan to be in this trade for a good while. Definitely like this one, defense stock. There's always defense money in these bills, so I like the setup here. Moving to my next one on the list, I have X. X was actually on my list of November stocks to reverse back to the upside. This past week, we stayed inside, so we're just sitting on top of a broadening formation there and just waiting. So I like the inside week. You have entry above 26.91 on the week for entry on X. Obviously, we play this stock quite a bit, so if you feel comfortable taking like an earlier entry, make sure that you have an entry code and not just typing in a continuation or something like that. So definitely liking the way X is setting up. Next one on the list, and Corey brought up Visa, so I'm going to talk about Visa, but MasterCard, MA, has a fire setup as well. We had a 2 down on the week, but we got a hammer and bounced off the bottom of a broadening formation, and now we're looking to test and go retest the top side of that broadening formation. So I'm looking at entry above 350.16. And I'm looking at magnitude getting up to 367.35 on that one. And then again, we have 2 down on the month for MasterCard, but again, it did a failed 2 down. So now we're looking at that reversal, going to retest the other side of that outside month last month around 367.35. So definitely liking the setup on Visa and MasterCard. So definitely in alignment and thinking on that one with my bros. Next one is Wheat and Precious Metals, WPM. This one I am actually currently in as well. But again, I like the setup for it, and it's giving you an entry on the macro. So we're down. We got a 2 down on the week with a hammer. So we're looking back to reverse back to the upside. And my expectation is that we'll get back to the $45 level with Wheat and Precious Metals. Definitely liking this one, and this one will continue to grow. This one is a materials based stock, so I expect this one to go as well with the infrastructure bill. Just kind of took earlier entry a few weeks ago. Now it's just pulled back and giving you an entry on the week. Next one I want to look at is Caterpillar. So Caterpillar had an inside week last week. So we are looking, and then also we have double inside months. So we're looking for 212 on the month. This one was also on my November reversal list. So we're looking for a 212 on the month above 209.75. But since the week gave us potential entry, we have an earlier entry at around 208.88 on the week on CAT. Definitely like this one looks fire. Not gonna lie, I like CAT. Next one for my list, John Deere, just to reference John Deere DE. This one had an outside week this past week. So I'm looking for this one to go 2 up continuation after the outside week last week. So John Deere, this entry level here is 365.63 for entry on John Deere. Next one is Verizon VZ. Our boy Brick has been in that one. This one went outside week last week. Looking for, it did a 3 down, so I'm looking for this continuation. I'm looking for it to bounce and reverse back to the upside, I should say. We're currently in the inside month. I think with their contract news and just business in general, combined with the infrastructure bill, will give this one the needed, pop that it needs to kind of push back and get out of this downward channel. So like the way Verizon's setting up. And then the last one, this one was on my 0-day list Friday, but I'm looking at the macros and the broadening formations, the one on AA, Alcoa. And AA also did a 2 down last week. We got a green candle, but what I really liked about it is that we're bouncing off a monthly level broadening formation. So if you wanted to take entry on Alcoa, your entry level would be above 48.65 on Alcoa. So that's the setup I like there, and I like us taking magnitude back to the 57.57 level on Alcoa. Definitely like AA, and that is all I have for my list this week. And I'll kick it back to you, FICO.
Appreciate you, bro. Boss Gang VIP, what you got on deck for us this week?
Well, we're definitely gonna keep it simple this week. Like Check My Resume said, I'm just simply somebody who's going to find where the money resides. I don't want to be over smart or start guessing. So I'm gonna get into it real quick. I'm big into the infrastructure and I'm big into clean energy. Clean energy has been running crazy. We had some corrective activity, buying opportunity. ICLN, clean energy, ETF, really, really simple, looking for a break over 24.50. It had been going crazy, corrective activity, infrastructure come in. We're going to look left to right. This thing is going to go crazy off this corrective activity it's had. Another one that's really, really cool is PAVE. PAVE is a global infrastructure ETF. Some of you guys may have heard of this one. Maybe you haven't, but you will learn today. One of the cheat codes in the market is looking at these ETFs and actually going through the tickers within these ETFs and finding the best setups when we already know where the money resides. You can actually play this ETF. It has some nice contracts. PAVE 2872 are the levels. I'm looking for PAVE over 2872. Going to be super quick. MO Altria smoking at an all-time high, the most it's ever been. People are stressed out with the pandemic. Beautiful chart setup, tons of magnitudes. 45.28 is the level on MO. Next ticker, we have ticker ENB. Ticker ENB. Enbridge, definitely going to be a benefactor of the infrastructure play. Levels $43.35 on ENB. The next one that we have is NUE. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with NUE, Nucor. Have levels at 115.57 for a break. So I'm definitely loving Nucor with this money coming in. Next ticker, EMR. Emerson. Beautiful, beautiful setup on this. Typically, I like these week setups, but on this one, I'm actually looking at a day entry. So I'm looking at a day entry on Emerson above 98.76. I'm feeling pretty good about that Emerson. Tons of green. Even corrective activity was still green. So that one looks really, really good. SunPower, SPWR. I mentioned this one previous week. Clean energy had some corrective activity. I still love SunPower. Levels 33.68. This thing is absolutely going to fly. So make sure you keep an eye on SunPower, 33.68. Last two levels, I'm going to give you guys a couple clean energy that got beat down a little bit. One is BLDP. Actually, BLDP hit the trigger. It went up. It went down, but I'm expecting it to push back up. BLDP, the magnitude is just absolutely outrageous. So I'm looking at levels at $19.20. And the last one I have is one I mentioned before, ARRY. Another clean energy play. And I'm looking at ARRY at $23.22. Keeping it simple, a lot of clean energy, low XLP. We're good to go. We're good to go. That's all I got, FICO. That's all I got.
You're on mute.
FICO.
My apologies. So you know that as far as our watch list is concerned, if you are in the pack, you are not going to typically see a lot of tickers that you're going to see just kind of flooded around FinTwit and so forth. We look to take you to specifically where the money resides because we are following institutional trading. They like to move in the shadows until some things become extremely obvious. You know, a lot of people are playing NVIDIA. This week we hit for it's like over 1,500% on AMD. I'm sure a lot of people did if they decided to hold through those contracts on like the 125. We had the 128s. We seen magnitude on Monday. It was very easy for that to play out in that manner. So, you know, some things will occur. We're not going to force you to play things that are far too expensive. I like to say that I look at individuals that come into the group. I'm just going to assume that you have a smaller portfolio. So we kind of have particular practices in the way that we maneuver in order to build your port. We like to turn things from very cheap to very expensive. That's how we get down. This is the reason why you see the returns that you do. And people kind of move and operate in our group with a little less stress. We're not going to sell you call outs where you have to rely on us. We are 100% dedicated to education, because we want you to be a very, very independent and confident trader within yourself. That's why we operate, move, and hunt as a pack. So I'm going to say that shout out to the big dog, Rob Smith. That's the homie. We salute you. And if all the pack members that are watching here live, we can't wait to see the plays that you post inside of the Discord. And look, it's been a fabulous week. We look to keep the streak going, 17 weeks straight, at least 1,000% play. We got 2 this week. Multi-100% baggers go out through the week from pack members. Also, Nikki, shout out to you. Blackberry gave that one to the pack. TTO True, shout out to you too. We got a lot of members that we want to shine light on for their efforts and for their contributions to helping, you know, the pups eat in the group, and a lot of the testimonies that you'll see coming forward. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell so you will be notified whenever we have a lot of the new content that we're going to be putting out. Market reaction videos. Myself and Investing for Legacy will be bringing you Behind the Wolf. An amazing story of Effective King. One of the pack members that is in the group. Crazy story that you got to hear. That will be coming to you next week. But we'll come back to you this Wednesday. Boss Gang in Legacy for Crypto Call. It'll be live. You can catch that on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And we will put out notification for when that Behind the Wolf interview will be live right here on the same platforms. Make sure you follow us, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And until then, you guys got anything else to say?
Yeah, I want to give, for the people who are not in the pack, today we are starting a $100 challenge. This is going to be for the pack members. We are literally starting ports from zero. So I'm not taking any money out of my own personal accounts or savings or anything. I literally went to hustle up some money, doing some delivery driving, so I could actually use that money to put in this account. It's going to be a transparent account. If you want to have access to this and you're a small port and you want to understand how to build, you have to join AlphaPad. We have tons and tons of testimonials. If you have $100, you don't have a lot of money, you're wondering where to get started, this is the place to get started. Make sure you're a part of that. You don't want to say, I watched this video, had an opportunity to be part of it, and we keep receipts, because we don't make excuses and we don't take
100.
excuses. We keep receipts. So if you want to be a part of it, you want to change your life. I was able to quit my job after trading for 8 months. If you want to quit your job, like me, I quit a good job. I quit a job that most people wish they had because of trading. You want to be involved, join AlphaPad.
That's 100% facts. No cap.
I see
Investor for
you.
legacy.
I see you.
Investor for legacy. You got any comments before we go?
Nah, man, just excited to hunt with the pack. I'm excited to see the growth that we are. We're a young company, infant company, less than half a year, about a half a year, but growing fast. The testimonies that we're seeing is pretty life changing. We're really helping impact the culture. Excited to see this thing really hit the masses because we really are on a dedicated mission to you guys. Even me right now, I haven't been asleep all night, not thinking about it at all. I'm excited to be here with you guys because I know the value that we're bringing as with this company. Please tell your friends, tell your family about the pack. We really are creating a team full of alphas. The motto is powerful alone, but stronger together. There's no wolf left behind in the pack at all, at all. So excited. Appreciate you guys joining this Saturday and everybody watching after. Make sure you like and subscribe, like Boss Gang said. Also follow our socials. There are names that you see here at Investor Lady, at Boss Gang, at FICO. Please add Mr. Check My Resume. Please follow the socials. Much respect to the pack. Let's go. Let's eat. Let's hunt.
Mr. Check My Resume.
Yeah, just a couple words. Just thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hit the notifications bell.
Well, it's been a great call. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, hit us up on our socials, especially Instagram. Pack members, we love you. We'll see you in the Discord. Outside of that, y'all have a great week. Peace.